Thank you.
Proceed.
So,
How we get to Beyonce?
yeah. So now here's the
No,
punchline.
I want to jump in real quick, Dave.
Yeah.
So I mean, the song. So how like so you get with Beyonce, but the first it's one of the first songs on the album.
Yeah.
Number 2
So
song.
you I mean I want you to go there, but I want you to like your reaction and like yo I'm like you see the track listing. Like the track list is big for an album, like you right at the beginning. So like people gonna listen to them first few tracks, even if they let's say they didn't listen to the rest, they gonna listen to yours off the jump.
Yep, they got no choice.
You being humble.
So
Yeah.
wrote on it, did you write and produce on, or just wrote on it?
So I'm a part of the production team that built I would say the skeleton of the song. And that we basically delivered the original concept of the record. And then I think when it got to their team, certain changes were made, certain lyrics were updated, certain things were added. And I think ultimately really the power of what B does is, I always joke, I'd be like, she everybody type, you know what I'm saying? She what everybody like. So even from my perspective, like, the record as it came to me, it was based. If you listen to it, there's a sample that kind of comes up in the middle where it's like I'm light, I'm dark skinned, and I'm black. That sample was way more prominent in the initial song that we wrote, and that was like kind of the core of it. So the record was, actually this is kind of exclusive.
Exclusive.
Will be. Yeah. The record was something. We had code named it. I won't say that it changed. I won't say that. Amongst our production team, the record was called I'm Black. And so what I wrote was, and I'll be able to explain this on the back end of this, you know what I'm saying? Because kind of how we got to that point. But what I was writing at the time was I wanted to say something that spoke to the diversity of Blackness, the power of Blackness, and really just like establishing self-confidence. So not, like I'm very much of the thing. I don't have to tear you down to make myself, you know what I'm saying, to remind myself how great I am. And so
facts. That's
how I approached that record. That was the idea behind it. It's just like, what does all of this Blackness amount to? And in the midst of that, part of the production team that I'm working with, kind of at the center of it is Honey Dijon, who incredible producer, incredible DJ from Chicago, trans artist, model, fashion icon, the world internationally, but centrally, definitely in the queer community. And now it's kind of, everybody's understanding her genius on another level. And you come into that space, and I think for me, I work at Essence, like I said, I made this record to kind of, based around You the Shit Girl used to go to empower my wife. I'm coming from the perspective of protect, serve, put women on that pedestal that they deserve, you know what I'm saying? And really just showcase how incredible they are. And so with Honey, it's like doing that, and also doing that with this expanded, with an expanded kind of with an expansion of the gender binary, you know what I mean? So what does it look like to love yourself? What does it look like to feel beautiful? What does it look like to feel sexy, to feel powerful?
That's big.
Every facet of Blackness possible. And then how do you do that in 16 bars? And so that was the challenge, that was the structure. And so even when you hear that line, it's a reminder. That's literally like, that was an ad-lib. That wasn't written. That was something that on that verse, like I get off into, the flow, and then literally it's just like in the background, I'm like, yo, this is a reminder, like I'm Black. Like in case you thought, in case you forgot, in case you didn't realize what it was, in case you didn't understand what it means to be this, it's a reminder. So that's that influence. And so then, like I said, essentially this record, Luke, Solomon, Honey, Chris Penny, they produced the core of it. Myself and Carice, who's from St. Louis also, we were part of the writing team,
Shout out to him too. I don't know the brother, but shout out to him. St. Louis,
that's my dog. And we've got a ton of stuff that most credits that you see with my name on it this year, he's in there too. You know what I'm saying? So we got a little the homies call us Dave Worthy and Carissa Abdul-Jabbar. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You know,
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, so like I said, we kind of wrote this initial concept. You know, there was more lyrics, there's more verses. I think there's probably 3 different versions of what I did that are out there, you know, somewhere. But
I'm gonna find it, put my name on it.
Huh?
I'm gonna find it, put my name on it. We finna get paid, Sleep.
Even you know, like Carissa's contributions, you know, when you hear about like the comfortable in my skin, cozy in my skin, you know, he was really an initial version talking about, you know, loving his skin, you know, loving his black skin, and you know, comfortable in his black skin and all of that. So that's where we were coming from, the angle we were coming from. And so, like I said, to bring it back, B's everybody's type, and I think that you get it over to that team. The power of it is there, you know what I'm saying? Like they
commissioned you to write it. Like, hey, can y'all write us something, or did y'all already have something? And they was
I'm gonna come back to that part. But basically, what I believe happened is that essentially when the record got on their side, they understood we can say all of these things and make sure that everybody hears the message, and not just have it just be for this demo, just for that demo, or just be, you know. And so that's something that I honestly admire about being that I've learned, you know, in this process, is just that, like, you know, she was able to take those ideas and those messages and really not change them too much, you know what I'm saying? But create something that speaks to, you know, spoke deeper to womanhood and spoke deeper to a diverse, you know, perspective of womanhood.
Hey, real talk. Because you still get the essence when I now think about You Can't Break My Soul.
Yep.
Like, you still get that essence of that. But that's something that if you're queer, if you're black, if you're Latino, whatever you are, you can kind of that message will resonate with you.
Yeah.
And that actually is kind of dope. A lot of times when we hear those types of records, they can be divisive. Yeah. I should say, like, only one group or one type of person can relate to the song. Yeah. But when it's done that way, it can be universally put out.
Yeah.
Like, it's because of you that I even ever listened to House. I'm gonna be real. I wouldn't never even touched it. So
I'm honored.
So no, I'm gonna be real. You the first Chicago. Hey, you know, St. Louis we hate the Cubs. I don't fuck with the Bulls.
But I know you're a White Sox guy, right, Dave?
South Side.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't do
I was good with it. I was good. My
whole father's side of family, everybody from Chicago. I moved to St. Louis at 9, so
because of Dave, you know,
Cardinals do.
Yep.
Hey, Dave being like, hey man, I don't like the Cubs either. I was like, let me listen to this guy. What are he talking about?
and what's so crazy is I don't know if I ever told y'all, I grew up in South Shore.
Yeah, that's
wow.
76.
77th right here.
Right, Rainbow Park right behind me. I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You was in Terrytown, boy. You was ducking them.
No.
Dave,
I can walk out the
yard
right into the park.
Hey Dave, we should have poached him from Free Time. We'd have made a little more money.
Come on over here, bro.
I was halfway
Come home.
I'm from South Shore.
Make the link happen.
Come on.
Now you mentioned this now. After the money we could have made.
It was like gang banging. It was like, dang, that is my hood. But I can't now. I'm already down.
Southside Swizzy. That would have been the name.
Yeah,
right there.
damn. But no, seriously, the fact that she was able to kind of freak it a little bit, I don't know if that's a proper language, but to make it hers.
Yeah.
Off of the foundation that y'all laid.
Yep.
Because I actually like the song. I didn't think I would. Because before I even knew you were on the album, the song it came out. So before I even knew, you know, I'm gonna be real. I was like, I've been partially in the hive since Dangerously in Love. I've been like, she had like a couple songs. I'd be like, I really fuck with this song. Like Love on Top, come on, I'm ready to go. I'm like, fuck it. But I ain't in there. I ain't gonna fight nobody off of Beyonce. So I fucks with it. So the song came out, and a lot of niggas was like, I'm like, nah, nigga, this some CC Pennington, like, finally, like, let's fucking women dance with this shit. Who doesn't like women dancing?
Dance music. People sleep on it. It's so many.
The fuck wrong with y'all? women is dancing and happy. Why would you want to be?
What's wrong with y'all?
What?
You so hard that you don't want women to dance and be happy? Like you that hard?
You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Keep going.
So now to kind of like flip back into, how we end up on there. So basically, like I said, Luke signed me to his label Classic Music. Well, he signed me and Sam to his label Classic Music. They basically like bought out, the rights to the initial deal that we had, and they get with us, planning to just sign us to a single. Him and Simon Dunmore come out to Brooklyn, where I was living at the time. They sit down with me and Luke. With Sam. We play our records, and for anybody who's familiar with the album that we dropped in 2020, it's called No Shade. If not, check it out, because it's definitely a precursor to a lot of what you're hearing on the radio, what you're gonna hear on the radio this summer. You know what I'm saying? They heard some of those songs even then, and they were like, oh wait, y'all are actually musicians. Like, this isn't just a gimmick, like, just, okay, y'all got a little catchy little hook and we got this house beat. Like Sam plays bass, Sam plays guitar, he plays kalimba, he plays the keys, you know what I'm saying? And I write everything. I can't sing, but if you can sing, I can write it for you. You know what I'm saying? So they got that, in that meeting, and they changed the deal to an album deal from a single deal. And the next thing we were signed to Warner. I had a publishing deal with, through Defected Music and Warner. And so when you have a publishing deal, what that means is that essentially there's different types of publishing deals, but essentially at the core of it, they are investing in you or giving you funding to be able to focus on songwriting and to encourage you to collaborate or to, work with other people, or, in certain cases, if they have the power to connect you with producers, factory style almost, so that they're able to kind of manufacture music in that way.
The old school Berry Gordy style. The Berry Gordy style.
Bingo. They're able to manufacture the music, and it's like, okay, I know we can trust him for these verses, or we can trust her to sing, or we can trust, her to play this, or, that kind of thing. So you kind of get put into, this system of sorts. And initially I was completely unknown. I always joke that Sam brought me to the party because everybody knew who he was in that world, but they ain't know me. And when we dropped No Shade, and, for me, as you know, I'm a visual person. So in the dance music space, you probably can't tell me you probably know some classic dance records, but you can't tell me a video, at all. What it looked like, who was in it, what happened. Because
I was a dance kind of cat. I remember all them videos, Black Box, you know what I'm saying, Ace of Base, all that stuff. I was one of them weird kids watching the box for the
that's not weird, man.
Yeah.
But I love this. Like, dude, I literally have a whole 150 songs, this dance playlist. You know what I'm saying? I like all the classic joints, CC Peniston, Crystal Waters, like all this. I'm talking about like even the underground.
Crystal Waters.
Yes.
Hey.
Crystal
Flowers
Waters
need to be given.
Like
for
I said,
real.
Black Box, Technotronics, Pump Up the Jam, Technotronics. I think it's Technotronics. Yeah. All that.
Yeah. So, but typically it's like with those videos, you don't know who the artist is, right? You remember the dancers, you remember the just stuff happening, but you don't know who.
And they wouldn't even put the actual singers in the video.
It
would be like something else.
And
you look up the person, and now internet-wise, you'll be like, hold on, that was a person on that in the video.
Yeah.
They showed people just dancing, hanging out, like a couple doing whatever. You didn't know who it was. Shout out to Martha Wash.
Didn't they do Good Vibrations? Didn't they have like a different chick in the video? It wasn't the chick that was
Martha Wash. It happened multiple times for Martha Wash on not just with CNC Music Factory. It was a couple other joints too that they did that tour on.
Yeah. So that was something that, again, I believe in pain where it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I believe in, as Miles Davis says, or said, play the notes that aren't there. So I look in this space, I'm immediately looking and saying, okay, I'm not popular in this regard. They don't know me. You know what I'm saying? I do not fit the description of somebody who can just I got kids, I got a wife. Like, I'm not the guy who can just get up and run around the world, at a drop of a hat to be with the young folks and all of that stuff. So I was like, what do I do to stand out in this space? And I started looking around the landscape, and I'm like, they don't do videos. Or if they do videos, they're not in them. So let me actually create characters. Let me actually create a visual narrative. Let me actually, so the sunflowers that you saw a lot with the stuff that we were putting out, and if you watch the videos, there's certain characters that go all the way through. Focus